So game day then you've got Claremont. I've seen Claremont once this season against Saracens. They weren't very impressive. They sent, as you and Tim would call it, the bin juice over there
Mm.
and got a bit of a pumping, well, a lot of a pumping really. Knowing you, match day, you've probably spent all morning in a coffee shop, um, 35 filter coffees deep, and then off to the ground. So take it from there. What was Saturday like?
Okay, often French clubs will meet up in a hotel the night before, even at home games. They really get strength from being together. Now, fortunately, we don't do that. We just met up five hours before the kickoff, 6 hours before the kickoff. All the players meet in the change room at the stadium, leave their stuff there, jump on the bus, and we go to a hotel on the coast and spend the pre-match there eating. There's rooms for everyone to sleep who wants to sleep, talking, just being together and getting ready for the game. Me, I use that time to have a little look at the team we're playing the week after, keep calm, and double check on, keep coming back to the match and the things we'll be looking for during that game against Clermont.
I'll just pick up one thing there. You say keep calm. So you're still do you get that sort of I can imagine I don't know, but were you a headbutting walls kind of guy in the changing room? Are you like that now?
Um, nah, I was. bef- Okay, hang on, let's start again. Now, my pre-match ritual when I was younger uh, was a couple of days. I got very nervous, not nervous, but changed my character around what was coming into the game because you got to be a bit more of an arsehole than I am in normal life on the pitch. So you kind of develop that as you're coming in. As you get older, you get more mentally gifted, I suppose, in terms of changing your mood. So you can snap in and out of situation how you want to think more quickly. As a coach, I've carried that on. So as a coach, I can switch off in the right places and switch on when I need to. So it's fortunately I'm there now. Sometimes during the game itself is the moment I'm the most nervous because you can't control things at that point in time. You just what happens happens, and honestly, sometimes the game's the moment I've got to just calm myself down, use some old mental skills from when I played to bring myself back down a level. But it's still nice occasionally to enjoy it, especially game like the game of the weekend, where you get some huge moments that led to game-winning moments, and you got to celebrate them with a bit of emotion, huh? Definitely. But the pre-match for us is yeah. So the guys meet up, they do a little jog around, bit of weights, and then we go to that hotel. By weights, I mean just some real light power stuff. And they go to the hotel, and players have their individual preparation routines. Lots of players play cards. A game called Quanche, which is kind of like anyway, I'm not sure what game would be like in the UK. Bridge, it's kind of like bridge. And other players will just sleep. Some players will stretch. Other players will be watching video of the opposition. Everyone's got their individual techniques. And then 2 hours before the game, then that point, everyone comes together and you have a meeting. It's about 5, 10 minutes long, in which the head coach speaks, nobody else. He'll get up and he will give the players a message he wants to give them. Some coaches like to give very technical messages, some coaches emotional. Again, emotions more normal in those situations and in France. That message, and then it's game time. So everyone's game heads are fully on at that point. Out onto the bus, journey to the stadium, jump off the bus, and then you walk through to the changing rooms. At most stadiums, there's loads of fans around who are quite calm. There's certain stadiums, and Perpignan's one of them. Oh my God, it's the first time. It's my first home game. Remember, they were banned for that Montpellier game being at home because two fans tried to join in a fight on the pitch at the wrestling match. So they banned them from playing at home. And it was my first home game. And there's a back entrance you come in where they park the bus. So you avoid all the main crowd. But you come in, yeah, it's packed, man. Everyone going nuts, trying to really get their team motivated and pumped up. I got some amazing clips of us just walking into the change rooms. It was incredible atmosphere, real buzz, really good, really cool. Then you're into the change room, and obviously then you calm down again, having come through that intense crowd. You calm down again, and for me as a coach, again, you're there at 1 hour 30 minutes before kickoff. So for me as a coach, just getting some moment I can just sit down, stay calm, stay chilled, watch, talk to certain players you'd like to be talked to about what they need to do on that day. Maybe try and help them with their mental preparations. See guys that are a bit nervous, especially some guys coming back from injury. Again, chat to them. How you feeling? Cool with your roles, or just stuff that reinforces their mental state. And then warm up, the warm up starts again, depending on the team, half an hour, 45 minutes before. Certain players go out earlier, certain players go out later, and voila, the team one starts. And once that team warm up starts, it's really you're into the flow then, and you'll flow straight into the game. So you'll come in 5, 10 minutes before the end, the kickoff time. People at that point are fully fired up and ready to go, and that's where again, that's where as a coach you can be bringing some energy to that change room if you feel that it needs it. Sometimes you can see it doesn't need any more pumping up. I can just leave it to them. So sometimes you go in, bring some energy. Sometimes you just sit back and you can see they're already in the zone, don't need no help. So that moment's pretty cool as well. And it's just game on. And then me, as a coach, I like to sit in the stand. So I would get out of there 5 minutes before, get up to my position in the stand, see the team run out, and then voila, kick off.
And then obviously the game goes on. Pretty good start for your lads, 10-0 up. And
Yeah, but I mean, it looks
take
good on paper. But again, that possession territory stat I was on about earlier, a lot of that was that first half. We were very bad about getting out. That try, incredible try, that first try, lovely try, was from a kick that Ben caught, our 10 caught. A real contestable kick that he somehow, despite being relatively short, jumped up and caught. Because they got Delpy, an Argentinian winger, who's a fantastic aerial player. We'll see him land on his head later. We'll talk about that. But yeah, he won this kick and then set off a counter attack, which they executed beautifully. Wonderful try for Jeff to finish off. A lovely try, but again, that was we were under the pump. We couldn't get out of our half because of 2 or 3 poor kicks and a couple of little errors led to them having domination in terms of 75% possession and 75% territory for the first kind of 20 minutes of the game. But the character we showed defending their mauls, Clermont's maul was very strong. We showed amazing character in our defence and keeping them out at that point, which was necessary because, geez, we're under the pump. But again, come back to what I talked about earlier on inability to do something which sounds relatively simple, is just exiting after kickoff receipts or line outs or scrum exits, these sort of things. We were just messing up and giving them opportunities. But out of the back of it, we got 10 points, got up into their half, won a scrum pen, got up won that kick, and then got the amazing counter attack for the try. So that first half, first 30 minutes, over the moon to be 10-0 up. Over the moon to be 10-0 up, yeah.
obviously in that first, well, not first sort of quarter of an hour, 20 minutes, things weren't made very easy, were they?
No, I mean, it was 20 minutes in, 19, 20 minutes in. Brilliant contestable kick from our nine. Our nine kicked very well all day long. So he put up an amazing contestable kick, and you see it in rugby. It's an accident. The guy didn't mean to do it. But when you don't take off, so wingers chasing, wingers your primary chaser. They've got to be good aerial forwards. He just had a one-on-one with their winger who's running onto it to catch the high ball, the high contestable kick. And our winger didn't take off before he reached their winger. Their winger was already in the air. And if you're on the floor and you touch their player, you can tip them over because they're so high, these guys. They get so much airtime, like Jordan-esque airtime. If you tip them, they can land awkwardly, then boom, red card. So it's such a foolish thing for a winger to do. If you're in that zone there, you've got to pull out or just get in the air. Just get in the air, get off the floor and challenge for it. And our winger didn't do that. I mean, Jefferson's a great player, really good talent. Sevens gold medalist with France, used to aerial battles. God knows why he didn't do it, but he didn't. Red card, whole hour with 14 players. So at that point, it's a winger. Now, winger's the most complicated position to get a card with because after that, scrum defense, line out defense, you've got to juggle where the guys are. But then kick chase is a big one. You need a winger for a kick chase. So you have to move someone up to that position. And there's a lot of disruption that causes to the back line. So the wingers are
Who do
very
you move out
complicated
there?
situation.
Who do you move out there? Do
Well,
you move a centre or do you move a flanker out there? Or
it depends on who you've got as talent, the talent you have. Now, for a kick chase, for example, R15 has played a bit of wing. So a kick chase, a simple fix there is to put the guy like that, a 15 who plays wing, put him winger full time during the kick chase. And then your 9 and 15 cover the backfield after the kick, 9 and 10 cover the backfield after that. But then off scrums, you can't really do the same thing. So sometimes you have the 9 dropping back and fulfilling the role. So you have no 9 in the scrum, you have 9 going back to do the role of the winger. Line outs is more simple. You can just put a forward out and everyone shunts out one. And the back 3 kind of combine with the 9 to make more, to cover the backfield a lot better and the short side better. But yeah, you got to be on your toes. Again, kickoff receipts. You've just lost your winger. So they drop it in behind the block. Who's going to take where the winger was before? Again, you have someone have to think about covering that. And again, with us at the weekend, some of the kickoffs went wrong because the number 8 was having to cover the winger space and his space, so he couldn't get to catch the ball as cleanly as maybe he would have been able to had the winger been there. So yeah, there's a lot of issues when you lose any player, but especially a winger. Back threes are a real headache.
So in into the second half then, and obviously Claremont start figuring out how to play against the 14, and it seems like they hit back. And when did it start feeling? Did was there a point in that second half where you thought we're in trouble here, or is that fear constant?
No, no. The team character-wise, you can see in the first 20 minutes before the red, they were all over them. We're making a lot of errors, giving them territory. But physically, they were into the game, the boys. They were really firing in, getting stuck in. So when that happens and the team's as focused as they were, you don't really have as much fear as you might. Now, we were 10 points ahead at half time, I think, 16-6 or 13-6. Now, the second half, again, we made an error on a kickoff. Gave them, sorry, on an exit line out this time. We gave them some territory. They played for 8-9 phases, and some of our players had just come back from injury. Both our second rows played hardly any rugby in the last few months, for example. They were getting tired by this point. And 9 phases in, one of them was so tired he couldn't get out around the ruck, couldn't get a ruck defence in place. Geno is an incredible runner. Boom, straight through the hole. Beats the fullback, scores a try. Yeah, at that point, you're like, Christ, they're back in the game now. It's tightening up. But again, with the character we showed, and we would show for the rest of the game, you're always going to be in a match like that. And then after that, our exiting became better and better. And we created some massive moments where we kicked brilliantly, chased brilliantly, caused turnovers, won opportunities to get in their 22, won opportunities for 3 points. And it was one of those situations that led to the second try, where we got some field position for really good exiting, and then put up a contestable, which we disrupted and then bounced into our hands, bit of luck there, and scored a try, which took us again. We got 13 points clear of them. 13 points is obviously just 2 converted tries, always a bit nerve-wracking, but then as soon as you got into the last 5-10 minutes of the game, then I felt we were going to win. They scored relatively late. They had about 5 minutes in which to score the second try. And I felt like we were okay. Obviously, this can always change. One unlucky penalty, they kick into the corner with a brilliant kick, and you take a maul try and they convert, and then boom, you lost the game. But I always felt like we were going to win, and we did.
And then obviously celebration started, and the road to the headache was
Yeah, yeah.
was
Yeah. Obviously, we beat the Dragons a few weeks ago, but it was a European match where we rested loads of people. We held back the team we were going to play in this game because top 14 being in the position we're in obviously is the most important thing. So to win the top 14 game at home, and you can see with the crowd as well how relieved the crowd were, how relieved the prayer group were, what it means to everybody. You get some amazing shots after the game of the crowd wanting to congratulate their team. Half the crowd stay after for about half an hour to congratulate the team as they're running around. It means so much to them. So yeah, after the match, in the changing room, it was buzzing, going off. One of those moments you play rugby for, huh? You really feel alive in those kind of games, and then you get in the changing room and celebrate with the team. and the greater staff and the players aren't involved. Everyone bundles into the change room, and yeah, they're special moments. I mean, in any sport, in
Is there
rugby
a team
especially.
song, a bit like seems to be doing the rounds in the Premiership at the moment? Everyone seems to be putting social media up of.
No, at Wasps we had our own homemade team song, but no, in France they don't really have that so much. Not like sing along.
They just get the
They have
Galway and the
certain
red wine
traditions.
out.
They have certain traditions. A lot of speeches as well. The president likes to speak, and the head coach. There's a bit of that, but then afterwards, as you see for some of the clips I've got, the boys just started enjoying the moment. A few beers slipped out, a bit of music came on, and they carried on enjoying the moment. Everyone's got 4 days off now because in France they insist that the Christmas week everyone gets a 4 day break at least. So no one's touching a rugby ball for 4 days. So that's the other reason I think a few people
Nice,
might have
nice.
enjoyed the evening more than normal.
It's
But
probably
then,
why.
then when I went outside to say hi to the family, it was buzzing there as well. It was kicking off. It was brilliant.
So you're still 2 points behind Montauban, and looking at the league table, it's going to be a tough bridge to get up to Lyon and the clubs in front of you. What? Just quickly, will you start looking at Pro de Deux and the top of that league to see who you may or may not be facing? At what point in the season, you've got 18 points. That's 4 wins, provided Lyon don't win any games. So you're going to have to start thinking about, are we going to be in that barrage? What's a realistic end point for? Do you think you can bridge that gap? I mean, obviously you think you can bridge that gap, but when do you start turning attention to what
Mm.
may come?
Honestly, it's not really worth thinking about whether you can or can't. All you got to think about is the next hurdles, and hopefully you'll find by the end of the season you've done it. That's the best way in sport to think about anything. Because as soon as you take your eye off what's in front of you, you fall over you trip up. So me as a coach, players as a player group, that's all we're going to do. Very simple mental approach to it. Next game's this. We've got these guys fit. Let's get on with it and get out on the pitch and do it. So we're going to carry on just doing that. And I hope at the end of the season we find we're in that sort of situation where we are not playing a Pro D2 team who lost the final, having to go to their home ground and have that game. So that's for sure. Now, obviously, if that situation is going to happen a few weeks before, you'd start to build up a knowledge of what you're going to be of the team you're playing against or probably playing against. Again, you wouldn't know that until a week or two before anyway, because the week before,
Hmm.
because they're going to have their final and lose it.